Folder view list.
Hi everybody. Okay, here we go. We're trying a totally different type of recording because of course I'm having conflict with Zoom. Now remember, if it gets too loud or too soft, adjust your own volume on your computer because of course, once again, Zoom doesn't have any information out there in regards to how screen readers are going to impact it. One thing I do know is when I was doing these all live, lots of conflict with the screen readers. So we're going to try this again in a different method. And of course, I love your feedback. So keep giving the feedback. The biggest feedback on the last lesson was there were several that just really wanted to hear the talking software. And in general, that's a really good idea. So you can actually see the difference between me just giving you the command and then hearing that feedback also. So we're going to go ahead and go into PowerPoint and we're going to go through the steps once again of how a child's going to present in school because there is a lot of presenting and of course it really helps them with their speech skills. So I'm going to hit my Windows key and I'm going to type in PPT and you're going to hear as soon as I hit P, because your computer learns from you, it will say PowerPoint. Here we go.
Search box edit. Type in text. P. PowerPoint tab. Press right to switch preview.
And I'm just going to go, I could hit enter right there, but I'm going to go ahead and just hit another P and another T, just in case your computer has not learned from you what you want to do yet.
P. PowerPoint tab. P. PowerPoint tab. Press right to switch enter. Opening. Opening PowerPoint. List box PowerPoint. Backstage view. Blank presentation.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. As soon as you hear your backstage view, you have two options. Either hit escape or you hit enter to go into a blank document. I can also tab into my list view and up and down arrow to go to my different PowerPoints that I've already done. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape.
Escape. Language English United States. MDI client. Multiple document interface client window. Ready. No selection. To select an object.
I'm just going to hush him up now. Okay, so this should feel very familiar, this lesson with the commands minus, or I should say in addition to, you're going to actually hear JAWS talking. We are going to use the 365 features as well as I will do another slide using 2010, 2016 commands just in case you don't have 365. So this one's going to be 365 with the design ideas already built in. And I highly suggest if you're a blind student in school or college or a business that this is required, get 365. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and tab in and we're going to create titles.
Center title placeholder.
Okay, so I just hit tab once. Once again, I'm going to keep it easy. It's not so important about the content, but to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to type title.
T-I-T-L-E.
Okay, if you do not have both characters and words going on your computer, you want to do insert to. So I'm going to just do insert to so you can hear the different levels of words, characters, and both words and characters. Here we go.
None. Characters. Words. Both characters and words.
Okay, so especially with beginner students, go ahead and have both characters and words, and in a lesson I will take you through all your JAWS settings on how to actually set this up. So we've done title and I need to hit escape twice to get out.
Escape. Object. Escape. No selection. To select an object. Press tab.
Okay, and I'm going to tab twice to my subtitle.
Center title placeholder. Level 1. Title selected.
And I'm going to tab again.
Subtitle placeholder.
Okay, and I'm just going to put my name.
B-Y-D-E-N-I-E-F-R-O-B-I-S-O-N. Robinson.
Okay, so of course every time I hit my space bar, the word will read also. Now I actually want to show you what will happen if you do not hit tab twice. If I escape once, I said that backwards. If you do not hit escape twice, I'm going to escape once and listen.
Escape. Object level. Title slide. 1 of 1. Subtitle placeholder. Level 1.
So you are on object level. That means if you left or right, up or down arrow, you will literally move your object. You may want to do that. That's a great option for Office 2010, 2016, or any other Office. Now, visually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and left and right arrow. JAWS will tell you I'm moving it. And if I go up, it's actually going to tell me I'm moving in to my object above. Here we go.
Subtitle.
Okay, and now I'm going to slow him down. Oh, I love it. And when he stops talking, insert escape.
Refreshed.
Okay, and let's go ahead and move again. Okay, so this time, for whatever reason, he is not doing, and it could be a 365 thing, because I am going to go ahead and go to my designs, and it will realign it. Typically, it will tell me I'm running over my placeholders. So if I sit on my left or right, or up and down, it will move really, really fast. Oh, and I've let go of it now, and visually, you can actually literally see my object moving. So that is the reason behind you must hit escape twice to get out. If I hit escape, my object will actually stop moving. Well, it won't. That's a new update. I just find that hilarious. Okay, but what I do want to do is I want to select my design. I am not going to hit my applications key. I'm not going to go to background color. I'm going to actually just...
JAWS Professional Presentation 1 PowerPoint. Title slide 1 of 1. Subtitle placeholder level 1. By Denise M. Robinson. Subtitle placeholder level 1. By
Okay, so now it caught up as soon as my object stopped moving. So now I'm actually just going to hit up arrow once at a time. Because now I'm really curious, does 365 actually do that? Or just did my last update on my computer, did it change it? Let's do it one at a time, up arrow. Nope, not yet, not yet. Not yet. And no, it doesn't. So 365 is not going to tell you if you overlap, but you will hear it in the other versions. Now, I know with 365, my design ideas are always open, and the way I'm going to get to that is F6. Now, what I want you to also thoroughly understand is if you understand which direction your navigation panes are at, whether to the left or to the right, you will know whether you need to hit F6 or Shift F6. And let me tell you why. So I'm going to hit F6. I know I need to move forward because my design ideas is to the right, along with my alt text and any other navigation option in PowerPoint. It's not just in PowerPoint, you're going to see this in Word also. So now I'm going to hit my F6 key and listen.
6. Recommended design. Design idea 1 of 9. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Okay, as I mentioned last week, so unless this latest update, and it came out about 3 days ago, has changed, I'm pretty sure I'm going to down arrow and just hear, well, let's hear it together.
Design idea.
Don't you love that?
Design idea.
So that has not changed yet. But truly, anytime I say, well, this is still not working yet, you know what? An update can change it the next day. So that's the reason why I always constantly test it out. And of course, I didn't test it out before I started doing this lesson because I wanted to show you guys also. Once again, it really doesn't matter which design idea you do. Any of them can work because they're all really pretty cool. So I'm just going to hit enter on this one. Actually,
Design idea.
Do this one, hit enter.
Enter. Design idea. Title slide 1 of 1.
Okay.
Subtitle placeholder level 1. By Denise M. Robinson. Subtitle placeholder is on top of picture. Subtitle placeholder level 1. By Denise M. Robinson. Subtitle placeholder is on top of picture. Subtitle.
So subtitle is on top of picture. Well, that's okay because this is a picture of chess. I love chess. You know, strategies. That picture just works for me. So anyway, it does tell me I'm on top of a picture. I am on top of a picture.
Escape.
And if for some, and I hit escape twice to get out. If for some reason you hear that and you're not sure about it, just F6 back over and change your option. Now, if I know I do not close that pane, and I'm not going to, I know I have to F6 all the time to get back over there. Now, what I'm going to do is Control M. I always think more. I tell my kids more. You have to come up with your own tricks in order to memorize all of these commands. But before I do that, I want to Shift F6 to my thumbnails. So you can also hear my thumbnails are to the left. So I'm going to Shift F6. Remember, whenever you combine Shift, you're going to go backwards somehow. I'm going to Shift F6.
Shift F6. Slide thumbnails tab. Title slide.
And there I am. Thumbnails. Beautiful. and that is where we're going to add some slides so I can show you actually how to delete them and whatnot. But you're going to move them around. I'm going to show you how to do that also. But I need to get back to my slide view, so I'm going to hit F6.
6. Slide area. No selection. To select an object, press tab.
Beautiful. Okay, so you just need to really listen to what it's telling you. I'm going to now do Control M for another slide. Control M.
No selection. To select an object, press tab. Slide 2.
Okay. And once again, these commands that I'm telling you, it's in every PowerPoint. The only difference with 365 is the design option. It does give you more layout options also, and there's a few other details. But basically, all these commands I'm showing you go throughout every PowerPoint I've ever used. And I've been doing this for over 34 years, so I've been there from the first PowerPoint that came out. Okay, so once again, I never even worry about my background. I'm going to tab into my title and everything else, and then I'm always going to F6 to go to my design to pick things. This is one content. That is the default for when you do Control 1. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you go to your layout now and change it to 2 content, that becomes the default from then on. But when you first open PowerPoint, we only have 1 content as soon as you do a Control M. So let's go and fill that out. I'm going to tab to my title.
Title placeholder.
Okay, once again, just keep it easy.
T-I-T-L-E.
Okay, easy peasy. And we need to hit escape twice because we know if we hit escape once, I'm still on my object, and if I up and down, left and right arrow, I will be moving my object. So always escape twice.
Escape. No selection. To select an object, press tab.
And you do want to hear that. No selection. And JAWS also tells you, press tab. How cool is that? Okay, I'm going to tab to my
title placeholder.
content.
Level 1. Object placeholder.
So object placeholder, and anytime you hear a placeholder, just think of it's a box that you need to fill up. So we're just going to do information here. So say your teacher just wants you to do it on, tell me about whatever. This is where, tell me about
E-L-L-E-A-B-O-U-T-W-A-T-E-V-E-R.
Okay, and I'm going to hit enter.
Whatever. Enter. A-G-A-I-N-K-A-N-D-A.
Keep it easy and enter.
Again, enter.
So these are just bullets. That's all we're doing. Make sure you hit escape and get out of your placeholders in order to go to your design. Because a lot of times it will not actually input a design if you don't. And you will see that on your own. Anyway, as soon as you put in your content, you're going to hit escape twice.
Escape.
And now we're going to F6 to our design ideas. Here we go.
F6. Design idea 2 of 9. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Okay, we already know we can up and down arrow, and any one of them are going to be great. And if you're just not sure, just hit enter on the first one each time.
Recommended design. Design idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just hit enter.
Enter. Design idea. Title slide 2 of 2. No selection. To select an object, press tab. No selection. To select an object, press tab.
Now, what's cool about this one, and if you're blind, once again, it doesn't matter. It's going to set it up visually phenomenal. So now I'm really curious. I'm going to tab around and see if it's separated it into 3. Because what I literally have is on tell me about whatever, I have actually a smiley face, and the eyes have 2 hearts in it and a big smile. And then again and again is literally an arrow. That's like going around again and again. So it actually chose designs appropriate for my words. Let's tab and see. Oh, that's right. We need to go ahead and we need to go ahead and shift F6 to get out because I just tabbed and nothing. Shift F6. So that's a cue. Once again, if you tab, you're like, oh, no, I'm over in my design pane. So I'm going to shift F6 to get back. Because remember, I want to go to the left of my design ideas.
Shift F6. Slide area. No selection. To select an object, press tab.
Okay. And of course, I'm always thinking of the next command. So I'm always not going to say it perfectly, which is great because that's really how we learn. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and tab.
Title placeholder. Level 1. Title.
Love that. Tab again.
Object placeholder.
Okay, so now it actually says object placeholder, and this is what we call smart art. So type in your text here. There's actually a smart art icon box that opens up. But be specific about what you want to do, and you do not have to worry about accessing your smart art box. Just know you typed in the information. If you choose a design, it's good to go.
Title placeholder,
Okay.
level 1, title.
So let's go ahead and add a new slide with Control M.
No selection. To select an object, press tab. Slide 3.
Okay, so it tells you, slide 3, it tells me all the information I need to know. But now I want to change my layout. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this because some of the commands, like if you're in a virtual lesson using Skype or another program, this is the Zoom issue, the keyboard commands that I'm using negatively impact my JAWS because Zoom has the same type of commands. This is true with other programs such as Skype or whatever. So if you plan on doing a virtual training one of these days, and you may, you need to know that you're going to have negative impact with keyboard commands. When I'm in Docs and I actually want to do a header and it requires me to hold down my Control and Alt and I hit O and then H to go to my header, well, guess what? Control Alt O is Open Book. So of course my Open Book pops open, which you guys saw a while ago. So if you're using multiple programs, just know some of your keyboard commands are going to conflict, especially when you're using clouds or virtual training or remote platforms. So that's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, that's the reason why you want to know more than one way to do it. So this, I'm going to hit my applications key. If you're not sure you have an applications key, you're going to go ahead and just fill your space bar and go 2 keys to the right, or typically it's to the right of your Alt key. Now another command I want you to know about if you do not know your keyboard is Control 1. So I want you to go ahead and Control 1.
Control 1.
I am wrong. The keyboard command that I want you to know is Insert 1.
On.
And that is Learn Keyboard command. So you can actually hit your keys and it's going to tell you where your keys are at. We get many new students and they do not know their keyboard.
9.
Okay?
8. 7. 6.
So I'm just
5.
moving around, but nothing is occurring on my screen. So Insert 1 turns it on and Insert 1 turns it off. So learn your keys where they are at. So now I'm going to Insert 1 and turn it off. Now, and of course, JAWS set off. You're not going to hear all of these because, once again, I'm recording this and it also negatively impacts. So there's, it's always figuring out what way to do this best. So I will repeat what JAWS just said, and he said off. I'm going to hit my applications key now.
Applications. Use destination theme button. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow keys. H.
And once again, he tells you what to do. You can hit L for layout, or I'm just going to go down arrow.
Menu. Layout sub-menu. To move through items, press up or down arrow. L.
Okay, and he tells you, so you're down arrowing, just let him talk. He will tell you the hotkey command. So the next time you come back, and you'll be here often, you can go ahead and hear that. When you hear arrow, you can hit enter or you can hit right arrow. I'm going to hit enter.
Leaving menus. Title and content button selected. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow keys.
Okay, and JAWS once again tells you what you need to be doing. Other screen readers will do the same thing. I want to go to to content, so I'm going to go ahead and right arrow twice. I know that's for me. Now if you're 16 or 10 or whatever, you're going to left arrow to title slide and down arrow to content. I need to right arrow.
Section header grid. 2 content grid. 4 of 17.
Okay. Now remember, this is like a ginormous circle. So if you just listen to that row and it's still not there, when you hear a repeat of where you are at title and control, then you know you need to down arrow. Let's go ahead and do that so you can hear.
Title slide grid. 1 of 17. Title and content grid.
There
2 of
was
17. Selected.
So now at that point, I know I would need to down arrow to listen to my next option.
Title only grid. 6 of 17.
Okay, get it? Okay, and that's the same way with down and up. These are like huge circles.
Title and content grid. 2 of 17.
Okay,
Selected.
I'm going to go ahead and right arrow.
Section header grid. 2 content grid. 4 of 17.
As soon as you hear what you want, you're going to go ahead and hit enter on that.
Enter. To select an object, press tab.
Yeah, I just love it when it flashes like that. Not so much, but it is what it is. So the design ideas, basically it's telling me my design ideas have popped away. It's no big deal. We can force those back open. So I'm going to go ahead and tab.
Menus. Presentation 1 PowerPoint. Title placeholder.
Okay, there's my title placeholder.
T-I-T-L-E.
And I'm going to hit escape twice to get out of my placeholder.
Title, escape.
Okay, and then I'm going to tab twice to my content. Now with two content, and typically teachers want two content. They want you to make a title, they want you to give a picture of something, because if you do presentations and you just have a lot of words, you're going to put your audience to sleep. So you always want to use a combination of media. You can also put your Excel graphs in here. Oh my gosh, calendars, absolutely anything. And any picture that you put in, you always want to remember to alt text it, because as a blind person, you're going to be moving around, tapping around, and it's just going to say object, and you won't know if that's a picture or actually your object placeholder. So remember to alt text everything, and I'll go over that again also. Let's tab.
Title placeholder, level 1. Title selected, object placeholder.
Okay, so I'm going to type in test.
Test, enter, edit. B-O-O-K, book, enter.
Once again, it doesn't matter. You can type a few items here. Remember, when you're doing PowerPoints, you do not want to write extensive sentences. That's not what it's about. These are reminders about what you're going to be speaking about. So when you go into your F5 presentation mode, you're going to hear this information and then you are going to talk about it. So do not put a ton of long lines of information. Once again, keep your audience awake. I'm going to hit escape twice to get out.
Escape.
Okay. Now I'm going to tab to my next content where I'm going to put a picture.
Title placeholder, level 1. Object placeholder, level 1. Bullet test, align left, bullet book.
And if I wait and listen to it, JAWS will tell me everything that's in this information. One thing I did not show you how to do the last time is how to go about editing this. Now you need to be careful, because depending on your version, all the text actually selects in your object placeholder and can erase. One option I have discovered that fixes all of this is you just hit a letter, I don't care what letter, to get into your object placeholder. So I'm going to just hit a letter. Yay, there's my L. And then what you're going to do is backspace over that, and you're going to up arrow, and you need to, and your broad display will read off of this also for any spell.
Okay, land.
Any spelling issues.
Bullet test.
Okay, bullet test. And it tells you. So that's how you get in and you can edit your information. Okay, let's hit escape twice.
Escape.
Now let's go to our next object placeholder.
Title placeholder, level 1. Title. Object placeholder, level 1. Bullet test, align left, bullet book.
Tab again.
Object placeholder.
Okay, and it's object placeholder. So we're going to insert a picture. Insert, Alt N. Clip art is F. P. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you how to do the routing of the cursors. So we're going to do insert clip art. So I'm going to do Alt N.
N, upper ribbon, insert tab. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows to navigate.
And F will take you to your clip art or online pictures.
F, leaving menus, insert picture dialog, insert picture, no selection.
Okay. And Apple was my object last time. I'm just going to go ahead and do Apple.
A, P, P, L, E.
Nice and easy. Make sure you hit enter to start your search.
Apple, enter. 38 results found. 38 results found.
Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and tab.
Insert picture dialog, custom control. Filter button menu, press space to activate the menu, then navigate with arrow keys.
So I could do a filter on this, but I'm not going to.
Creative Commons only, checkbox, checked. A clear checkmark, press space bar.
Yep, gonna keep it checked.
Red Apple Clipboard free stock photo public domain pictures, checkbox, not checked. To check, press space bar.
Now, I could try hitting spacebar. Once again, we have not been able to do that before. We've had to route our cursor, and I will do both just in case your computer has not updated either. But I am interested to see if spacebar works yet.
Space checked.
Yay! It does! Okay, I'm going to tell you, that is a recent update. We have not been able to do that before. So that is like whipping cool. Let's say, and then I'm just going to tab one time to insert. But let's say your computer is not there yet. But it could be. If you did your latest 1903 update, and there's a lot of updates after that because the first 1903 update, oh my gosh, the bugs were extensive. So it really does depend on where your computer is at and what it has been doing in the process of updates. And we just had another major one a couple days ago. So if you have not, you're going to caps lock left bracket.
JAWS to PC.
Now I say caps lock left bracket because my caps lock is the insert key. Even if our kids have desktop mode, I always have them change it to laptop mode because you can use both your laptop and desktop commands, which is incredibly advantageous. More than that, if you do not use your caps lock as your insert key also, you're going to be going to the top right hand corner to find it. So I highly suggest changing that into insert mode. And I can already see I'm giving you a lot of JAWS options, so I do need to take everybody to how to set up JAWS properly. But let's go ahead and do this first. So I've routed my cursor. That literally makes my mouse fly across the page, and my mouse is directly on the picture. So blind people can do this all the time, all by themselves. They can make that mouse walk across. So if you're in a web page and it's, you hear a button but it won't select, that's how you do it. Now caps lock 8 would select this. If you do need to do an applications key, it's caps lock 9. But I would just want to select it. So caps lock 8 would select it. My guess is, since I hit spacebar and selected it, I'm kind of wondering if caps lock 8 is going to unselect it. So let's find that out together right now.
Click not checked.
Yep. Of course, because it's a toggle, right? So caps lock 8, again, it's going to select it.
Left click checked.
Yeah, checked. And that's how, wow, this update is like fabulous and wonderful. And I had a feeling when I was doing this a couple weeks ago and it was selected so well that the update had occurred. But this is a really nice. So now I need to go ahead and just tab to insert.
Custom control.
Yep. And enter.
Space, title slide, 3 of 3, object placeholder, object placeholder, object placeholder, a picture containing drawing description automatically generated.
Yeah, so that tells you it's automatically generated. That's not what we really want. So I'm going to hit my applications key. If you do not have an applications key, Shift F10. I'm going to hit my applications key.
Applications, menu, cut to move through items, press up or down arrow, T.
Now, I know Edit Alt Text is A, and once again, you want to memorize these, but I want to go ahead and up arrow.
New comment, M, format picture, O.
Okay, if you have 2010 or 16 or another Microsoft Office, you may have to format this, but more important, you are going to
size and position, Z.
Probably need to correct the size and position. If you're totally blind, leave the picture alone. It moves it odd, but if you use your placeholders, it will place your picture perfectly. Up arrow again.
Text, A.
Yeah, edit alt text. So I'm going to hit enter on that.
Enter, leaving menus, description, edit, a picture containing drawing, type and text.
So what occurs is, once again, to the left, and it's to the left of the design ideas, another alt text box formats and opens, and it tells me a picture containing drawing. Well, that's not descriptive enough because I know I went into my clip art option, I typed in apple, I know I'm doing an apple, I tabbed to the object, it told me I'm doing a red apple, so put that description in it. And remember, this is just for you, so when you're moving around your PowerPoint to make sure it's correct, then you know you really did that correctly. Do a Control A, just select everything in that box because you do not need it.
Selected. A picture containing drawing description automatically generated.
And I could hit backspace, but I don't need to. If it's selected and you start typing, it's automatically going to erase and put in the information you're typing.
R, E, D, red, A, P, E, L, E.
Okay, red apple. Now, when you do that and you've been leaving your design option open, you need to realize it immediately closes your design idea. You also need to close this navigation pane. Any additional navigation pane that you open, you must close. And if you don't, you'll find out immediately why, and you won't be able to regain access of it. You will have to hit F5, but then you're going to get way too many navigation panes open, and it will cause confusion because you're going to try to find out where you are to go back to your slide view, and you'll have too many things to move through. So just remember, Control Space, C to close. Let's do it.
Control Space, context menu, size to navigate, press C, leaving menus, title slide, 3 of 3, object placeholder, red apple.
Okay, now the thing is the design ideas have closed and we need to get it back open. Alt G will take us to the design menu, so Alt G.
Followed by G, upper ribbon, design tab. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows. To navigate the current ribbon, use tab or shift tab. Alt followed by G.
Now, so always listen to everything that it's saying. Remember, we're going to have a little interruption with the talking software because I'm also recording this and it's going to conflict with the recording a bit. So you will get more feedback on this. I also know I want to go to my design ideas, which is a multitude of tabs through my ribbon to get there, or I'm just going to memorize D. I do highly suggest going to your ribbons and tabbing through them the first time and listen to your hotkeys. But right now, Jaws told me Alt-G gets me to my design, and I'm going to hit D to get to my design ideas.
Leaving menus, title slide, 3 of 3, object placeholder, red apple, object placeholder, red apple.
Okay, so now it tells me object placeholder, red apple, my design ideas have opened, and I'm going to
object
go ahead
placeholder, red apple.
And hit F6 to get over to my design ideas. So let's F6.
F6, design idea 2 of 11. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
So it told me 2 of 11. So once again, it doesn't really matter where you go.
Design idea. Design idea.
Let's go ahead and hit enter on that.
Enter. Design idea. Title slide. 3 of 3. Object placeholder. Red apple. Object placeholder is on top of rectangle and is on top of picture. Object placeholder. Red apple. Object placeholder is on...
You do need to realize that when you do go in there, it is going to really, truly rearrange everything, and it's going to tell you rectangles are over top of everything. But if you've chosen your design ideas, it will place it correctly. Okay?
Design idea. 3 of 11. To move to an item, press the arrow key.
Yep, and I could...
Design idea.
Change it again. So I'm on 2 of 11. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter.
Enter. Title slide.
Remember,
3 of 3. No selection.
You do not pop out of that. You do not pop out of your design ideas until you do Shift F6. But I wanted to just show you I can continue to up and down arrows. So even if you have a little low vision, you're going to see that, oh my gosh, that apple has filled almost my whole page. That's way too bright for my eyes. So I'm actually
design idea. 3. Design idea. Design idea. Enter. Title slide. 3 of 3.
And
No selection.
Again,
to select an object. No selection.
Ideas.
To select an object.
That's all it's going to tell you. I'm just going to hit my control and hush them up. Now I need to get out there and get it back to my slide view. So Shift F6. So Shift F6 because I'm going to the left.
Shift F6. Slide area. No selection. To select an object. Press tab.
Okay. So I think you're getting the idea on that. Now I want to go to my thumbnails. I want to show you how to delete slides, get them back, and move them around. So I'm going to continue to Shift F6 because I need to go to the left. My thumbnails is to the left of my slide view. So Shift F6.
Shift F6. Slide thumbnails tab. Title slide.
Okay, so always start at the top so you really know where you're at.
Title slide. Title slide.
Okay, there's my title slide. And this is the problem with saying title slide on it, is because all of them read title. So when I show you the other version that's not 365, I will make sure I change that word. So let's say I want to change 2 with 3. I'm going to down arrow to 2.
Title slide.
Now, once again, you're going to give the proper feedback because you're not going to be recording at the same time I'm doing. You're not going to have that conflict in it. I'm going to copy this with Control C, and then I'm just going to move it down to 3 and then paste. So I'm going to Control C.
Copied.
It tells me, and I'm going to go ahead and down arrow.
Title slide.
Okay, and I've moved down to 3, and I'm going to paste, Control V.
Pasted. Title slide. Title slide. Title slide.
Okay, now I copied, so I have double that. A better option would have been Control X. Now you can undo, so Control Z.
Title slide.
And it gets rid of that, so you never have to feel like you're locked into something. But I'm actually going to go ahead and paste that back.
Pasted. Title slide. Title slide. Title slide.
Another slide to deal with. So let's go ahead now and show you how to delete, which
title
is
slide.
So easy.
Title slide.
Once again, you're going to get the proper feedback because your talking software is not going to give you issues. I am going to Control Escape though and see if I can get him to work. Insert Escape. That's your refresh JAWS. So when your JAWS does become hiccupy, you can use Insert Escape.
Title. Escape. No selection. To select an object, press tab. Undo. 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 Title. Undo. Title slide.
So Insert Escape.
Refreshed.
Okay. And now I'm refreshed. Let's go ahead and down arrow.
Title slide. Title slide.
Yeah, no, he's not going to. But let's go ahead and
title
down
slide.
Arrow. And when you
title
need to
slide.
get rid of a title, go ahead and just hit your delete key.
Title slide. Land.
That easy. Now, here's something else I want to really show you. Let's say your teacher sends you this huge document and it has some pictures in it, but you just need to read the content. I want you to Control-Shift-Tab
Line tab. Selection is title, test, book,
And you
edit.
actually open what we call the outline view, and anything with text in it actually is going to be there. So you want to Control A and Control C, and it will say, sometimes it will say selected, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will say copied, sometimes it won't. But the point is, do a Control A and do a Control C. Okay, and again,
Copied.
copied. Like I said, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. And my JAWS has been kind of finicky because I'm also doing this in a recording. So just walk of faith. Control A, Control C. Open Word. I've got mine as a hotkey, so I'm going to do Windows 1.
Windows 1. Leaving ribbons. Taskbar. Opening. Opening Word. List box Word. New Office list box. Selected blank document. 1 of 1. Blank
Okay.
document. To move to an item, press the
I could hit Enter on that, or I could hit Escape. This time I'm going to do Enter, but either one will work.
edit.
Okay, it tells me edit, and I'm going to paste with Control V.
Pasted.
Okay, so there is all my information. I'm going to Control Home.
Top level 1. Bullet title 1 of 6. Bullet by Denise M. Robinson. Bullet title.
So all the information in that PowerPoint can actually be put into a total Word document, and this is how the students do it. So if they need to just study it, well, get it out of that PowerPoint, because that's a lot of work to be hitting page down and tabbing into your placeholders. So that's a way to get the text out really whipping fast and be able to have the kids study it nice and easily. And this is not really a blind thing, man. This is a kid thing. The kids want to be able to move through this, so just show it to all the kids, and they'll be thrilled. So what happens is, which I love, is when they're in the classroom, the sighted kids see what the blind kids is doing, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this works so great! Teach me how to do it." So it's a really great opportunity to make friends too. So I'm going to Alt Tab, sit on my Alt, and when I give commands, I mean sit on that first key before you hit the next one. So sitting on the Alt and hitting Tab.
Selected presentation 1 PowerPoint. To
And
move
let
to
it
an
go.
item, press the arrow keys. Ready.
Okay.
Presentation 1 Power. Edit.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and
Escape.
get out of my slide view outline with Control-Shift-Tab.
Title slide. Slide thumbnails tab. Title slide.
And it puts me right back into my visual views. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit F5 to go into presentation view. You've done your presentation, you're going to class, and now you're going to present. You just have your earbuds in, and you're going to hit F5.
5. Slide 1 title. Picture 3 image. Heading level 1 title. Heading level 2 by Denise M. Robinson. Robinson.
Yep. Now, that all just read in your ear. So you just do an introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm going to talk about, and you go into what you're going to be talking about. And you can either hit spacebar or page down or down arrow. Spacebar is typically the easiest option for kids to use, so I'm hitting space. Okay.
Slide 2 title. Heading level 1 title. Tell me about whatever smarter diagram. Again and again smarter diagram. And love face with solid fill shape. Return shape.
Now, what I tell kids is, if you have a lot of information in here, do not let JAWS read the whole slide to you. You don't have that type of time. It's going to look odd. You're going to be standing up in the front of the room, and you have a lot of content, and you're just quiet. And the kids are wondering what's going on. So don't just memorize what the slide is. You should be able to listen to the title of what it's about, maybe the first option. Take a breath while you're listening so it doesn't look like you're standing up there listening to a whole slide like you are. But you do need to really practice this well. And so once again, you hear the words and you go ahead and present your information and just hit spacebar again and move down. I think you're getting the idea.
Slide 3 title. Heading level 1
Okay.
title. Bullet
And I'm
title.
just going to hush them up. At that point, that's what the child should be doing also. You've got your laptop right there. You need to know where your control key is. You need to know where your space bar is so you can keep moving through these titles really easily and giving a phenomenal presentation. Practice. Practice in front of your family. And even if you're homeschooled, you must do these. It will give you great speaking opportunities in order to really present yourself well. Okay, let's hit spacebar one more time. And
Slideshow. Click to exit. Exit.
Yep, and of course it tells you that, so you can just hit your
Escape. Presentation
You're
1
out.
PowerPoint. Title slide.
Okay, really, really nice. So that's how you present. Now, that was 365. Let's go ahead and go into something if you don't have 365. Control N, and that is true, new for any of Office products. If you're not sure how to make a new email, Control N. Guess what? You're in Word. You need to do a new document. Control N. Control N is our go-to command. So let's do Control N.
Control N. Presentation 2 PowerPoint. No selection. To select an object, press tab. Presentation 1 PowerPoint. No.
I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to pretend I don't have design ideas over there. It's no big deal because we're going to just do all these commands based on pretending I do not have 365. First thing I'm going to do is hit my applications key.
Applications. Presentation 2 PowerPoint. Use destination.
And I'm going to go up arrow to format background, and you're going to hear it is B. So you're in a little dialog box, and it's a big circle.
Menu. New comment. Format background. B.
And I'm going to hit enter on that.
Enter. Leaving menus.
Okay.
Slide 1. 1 of 1.
Now,
No selection. To select an
hush them up. Visually, you can, once again, it all opens up to the right. When you're blind, you're going to figure that out very quickly. So if you're by yourself and you're trying to figure out where things are opening up, just hit your F6, go in a big circle around your whole document. So let's go ahead and do that first so you can see your page is one big circle. So let's hit F6.
6. Toolbar. Spell check button. Press enter or spacebar to activate this button. To move through the buttons on this toolbar, use tab or shift tab. To F6. Upper ribbon. Home tab. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows. To navigate the current ribbon. F6. Slide area. Leaving menus. Slide 1. 1 of 1. No selection. To select an F6. Turn off automatic suggestions when creating a new presentation. Link.
Again.
F6. Fill button selected. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow keys.
And I'm back to my fill button. So you can see it's just a huge circle. I want to tab in. Now I want you to remember that word fill because you are going to open up other options and it's going to say 4 or 5 options and it's going to say size and position or whatever. And you need a right arrow to fill if you want fill depending on what you want to do. Anyway, let's just do fill right now. I'm going to tab in one time.
Fill button checked. To activate, press space bar.
Okay, I'm going to tab again.
Solid fill radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow S.
And this time, I am going to down arrow one time to gradient because it is one of my more favorite ones.
Slide 1. 1 of 1. No selection. To select an object, press tab G.
Right off the bat, I do like the blue-white option gradient. Of course, it's light and medium bluish color. It's one of my favorite, but I'm going to show you, of course, how to change it. The colors. You just need to tab through all your colors. Remember, we're tabbing all the way down to apply to all. You're keeping it simple for your beginners. So let's go ahead and tab.
Hide background graphics checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar H.
No, we don't want to hide those. Tab.
Menu. Preset gradient submenu. To move through items, press up or down arrow R.
When they get more advanced, this is a wonderful option to have multiple different colors and gradients, and you would hit spacebar and open it on that. I'm not going to do it this time. I may go into this. There's a lot of requests, so I'm kind of following the request of the group also as we move through. So I may get into these more advanced, and that, of course, will be depending on the feedback I get. Let's keep moving.
Menus. Type combo box. Linear. To change the selection, use the arrow keys.
So once again, you can change the way the gradient goes. I'm doing it linear, so it's going to go light, medium, down to light again.
Menu. Direction submenu. To move through items, press up or down arrow keys.
You can also go ahead and, hold on, we've got a call coming in. So just keep tabbing through.
Leaving menus. Angle edit spin box. 90 degrees.
The angle,
type and text.
everything. You have options on absolutely everything. I'm going to tab down to color.
Multi-stop slider. Gradient stop 1 of 4. Add button. To add remove button. To activate, press spacebar. Delete.
Add and change your gradient.
Menu. Color submenu. To move through items, press up or down arrow
That's
C.
a big one.
Space. Leaving
bar.
menus. White. Background 1 button.
So I could change it here, but once again, I'm not going to touch it. I like gradient. I like the way it's set up. I'm leaving it alone. Hit escape.
Escape. Menu. Color submenu.
And when these are beginners, once again, choose really the defaults that are already set up. And let's go ahead and tab to apply to all.
Escape. Slide 1. 1 of 1. No selection. To select an object, press tab.
Okay, so I just hit escape and it completely popped me right into my slide view. I heard press tab. Isn't that hilarious?
Center title placeholder.
Okay, so once again, hit escape on that because you need to go
no
back
selection.
and
To select an
apply
object.
that to all. So this is how you control it. So if your computer does something funky like that, you need to hit F6 to get back to your format background because we did not close that pane. It is still open. Let's tab.
F6. Turn off automatic suggestions when creating a new presentation. Link.
Again.
F6. Fill button selected. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow.
When you hear fill selection, instead of tabbing through, I actually want you to shift tab, because once again, these boxes are huge circles. So Shift tab.
Set background button to activate, press spacebar. B.
Again.
Apply to all button to activate, press spacebar. L.
There we are. So just remember, these are always huge circles. So if it pops you out also, you just need to get back there and apply to all. I'm going to hit
Space slide 1, 1 of 1. No selection to select an option.
And we need, no, I just heard it again. Slide 1. Oh my gosh, it popped me back in.
Fill button selected. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow keys.
Didn't. Okay, fill button. So just hit tab and listen. If you popped into your slide view, then you know you need to go back and then close it. We need to close that. So Control Space and C.
Control Space menu move to navigate, press E. Leaving menus slide 1, 1 of 1.
And
No selection.
Gone. Now I know my design ideas is open and it's kind of a pain in the backside when I go over there, but it's going to automatically close anyway when I insert a picture. So now I'm going to tab one time.
Center title placeholder.
I needed to change my words, right? So we're just going to type
E.
Apple, escape
Please
twice.
escape. No selection to select an object.
Tab
Press
twice.
tab. Center type subtitle placeholder. M E.
Okay, just mixing it up a little bit. You can see it's pretty much the
Escape
same way.
object. Escape. No selection to select an object. Press tab.
Now, one thing I want to take you to, which I did the last time also, was the design layout background. So this is one way to do a format. Let's go ahead and go to our design tab with Alt-G, and then remember it's H. So Alt-G.
Ribbon, design tab. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows. To navigate the current ribbon, use tab or shift tab. Alt followed by G.
Okay, and we want to go to H to our themes, which actually would have been the first tab if you would have gone in there. So let's hit H.
H. Office theme button. To move through the controls on this ribbon, use tab or shift tab, or use the arrow keys. Leaving menus. Office theme button selected. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow keys.
Okay. Now, when you're actually in a theme, you don't want to be tabbing out of there. If you tab, you're going to go to the next option. You want to use arrow. Now, he gave you those options. You just need to understand what to do when you're in a particular option. If you're in the options, you need an arrow. So let's go ahead and arrow.
Office theme button. Navigate with left and right, up and down arrow keys.
Okay, and let's keep moving.
Facet grid, 3 of 35. Gallery grid, 4 of 35. Integral grid,
Okay.
5 of 35.
All I did was down arrow once, and I'm just moving through.
Ion grid, 6 of 35. Ion boardroom grid, 7 of 35.
Now, if you have some vision, you can actually pick up on the colors. If you don't, you can actually memorize which is your favorite theme. I would always visually tell the kids which item is which. Well, most kids have their favorite colors and what they want.
Organic grid, 8 of 35.
Okay? And they would memorize what they actually wanted and what theme so they could easily do it themselves. So I'm going to hit enter on this one.
Enter. Apple slide, 1 of 1. No selection to select an object. Press tab. No selection to select an object.
It's kind of a peachy background. It actually looks like a present. It has a note card on it. It says Apple and me. And so I'm back in my slide view, and now I can Control M.
No selection to select an object. Press tab. Slide,
and
slide
each
2.
one looks like a card. It's kind of a really cool background. So that's another way to actually set up your options. Now, one thing I do want to do, and I think I've described all those commands on this one. I'm going to Alt-Tab back to my other slide, and I want to show you how you're going to set this up. Like, I've had kids want to present information at science fairs or whatever, and they want to set it up like it's a kiosk, so your PowerPoints just start flipping through and running automatically. So sit on your Alt and Tab.
Presentation 1 PowerPoint. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
So I'm back here. So let's set up your slideshow. Well, you need to set up your timings first on how long it actually takes, and then you can set up your slideshow. To go to your slideshow, you're going to do Alt and
Ribbon,
then
ribbon,
S.
design tab. S, slideshow tab. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows. To navigate the current ribbon.
So your rehearse timings is T. So as soon as I hit T, it's going to start a timer, and I'm going to just pretend I'm reading this like a sighted person, and I'm going to hit spacebar to move to the next slide, so you can actually listen to what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and hit T and run my timings.
E, leaving menus, title slide, no selection. To move to an item, press the arrow keys. Slide 1 title, picture 3 image, heading level 1 title, heading level 2 by Denise M. Robinson. Slide 2 title, heading level 1 title, tell me about whatever smarter diagram, again and again smarter diagram, in love face with solid fill shape, return. Slide 3 title, heading level 1 title, bullet test, bullet book, red apple image, apple. Leaving ribbons. Microsoft PowerPoint dialog. The total time for your slideshow was 0 o'clock 22. Do you want to save the new slide timings? Yes, button. To activate, press spacebar. Alt plus Y.
If I did not, I would tab to no, and we would do it again. But I'm going to hit spacebar.
Space. Presentation 1 PowerPoint. Title slide. Title slide.
Okay. Now, once your timings are set up, you want to actually set it up for it sits at a kiosk or science fair or whatever, so people can actually watch it run. So all S.
Upper ribbon. Ribbon. Slideshow tab. To change ribbons, use left or right.
S1 is a slideshow for 365. I believe it's been a while since I've been on the younger versions. I think it's just S. If you're not sure on yours, just tab through and you'll hear what it is. But mine is S1.
S1. Leaving menus. Title slide. Setup show. Presented by a speaker. Full screen radio button checked.
Well, if it's going to be presented by a speaker, then you do not want timings in here. You want to be able to control this because it allows your audience to ask questions as you're doing your show. So that's not the point. You want a down arrow to a kiosk.
Browsed by an individual window radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow. Alt plus D.
You could, but you want to go ahead and browse by kiosk full screen like you are actually, like a magician is presenting it.
Browse to the kiosk full screen radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow. Alt plus K.
Now the rest of them are pretty easy because you've already done a timing. It's actually automatically, everything is set up for you until someone actually comes up and hits escape and gets out. So we're just going to listen. You're basically all done with this just by doing this. You could hit enter right now and shut it down. Or stop it and then go ahead and run it, but I want to tab through so you can hear these.
Show without narration checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar. Alt plus N.
Well, if you have a narration, cool. Well, you don't. You want the narration in there.
Show without animation checkbox not checked.
Okay, and you do want animation. Once again, once I do the more advanced, and I'm pretty sure I will before the end of this year, do a lot more advanced keys on this, but just practice. This is a great place to start.
Disable hardware graphics acceleration checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar. Alt plus G. Menu. Laser pointer color sub menu. To move.
You don't want a laser pointer because this is going to be at a kiosk.
Leaving menus. All radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or.
You want all slides showing, so you're going to leave that alone also.
Slideshow monitor combo box. Primary monitor. To change the selection.
Yep.
Resolution combo box. 2560 times 14.
Yep. And
OK button to activate.
So pretty much all you had to do was down arrow to browse like a kiosk and hit enter and close it and you're done.
Enter title slide.
Now, when I hit F5, that's all you have to do. It's going to run on its own. Let's F5 and see.
F5. Slide 1 title. Picture 3 image. Heading level 1 title. Heading level 2 by Denise M. Robinson. Slide 2 title. Heading level 1 title. Tell me about whatever smarter diagram. Again and again smarter diagram. In love face with solid fill shape. Return shape. Return. Slide 3 title. Heading level 1 title. Bullet test. Bullet book. Red apple image. Apple. Slide 1 title. Picture 3 image. Heading level 1 title. Heading level 2 by 5.
And it's just going to keep repeating. So
Escape. Presentation 1.
So you can see it will just keep repeating and repeating. So it's just perfect and ideal for science fair. I also want you to make note that those images read, those are perfectly alt text. If it's in your design ideas, they're also going to read to you. So that is PowerPoint with JAWS, so you can actually hear those. So try those out. And if you actually want me to take a look at what you're doing, send it to me. Send it to TechVision Training at yourtechvision.com, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at it and give you some feedback on it also if you have any issues on that. But it's a lot of fun, and of course this is what all the other kids are doing. We want our kids to do that also. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Okay, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to my desktop, and I'm going to show you some JAWS configurations that you really need to set your computer up so they actually work the best. So I'm going to insert J. Now insert J takes me to the context menu. If you do not have JAWS in your system tray, like I do, so let me insert J.
JAWS context menu. To navigate, press up or down arrow.
Okay.
Options.
So visually you see it pop up in the right hand corner, but you need to have this option selected, and I'll take you to it right now. If you're alt tabbing and you bump into it, get it off your alt tab and get it into your system tray, and this is how you do it. So we're on our options, and I want you to hit enter on that. If you alt tab and you go to it, just alt O and you'll go to your options. Because once you get it off your alt tab, you're not going to bump into it anymore. You then insert J to open it. Okay, I did insert J. I'm on my options. I'm hitting enter.
Basics B.
I'm going to hit enter on my basics.
Enter. Leaving menus. Basic settings dialog. Tutor messages. Announce menu and control help radio button checked.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. Now, the options that you want to go to is first Alt-J to automatically start your JAWS. You may or may not have this set up correctly. So Alt-J.
Start JAWS options dialog. Start JAWS at the logon screen. Check up.
Okay. Yes, check that. You're going to tab and you're going to go to Always to start JAWS after login for this user and then hit enter to select it. I don't have that because I have a lot of other things starting up and I'm very much wanting to control everything. But if you're totally blind or even low vision, absolutely have that checked to start JAWS at the login screen. Okay? And I'm going to hit escape out of there.
6 settings dialog.
The next one is Alt-J to run JAWS from system tray. Sorry. Alt-S. We already did Alt-J. So Alt-S.
Run JAWS from system tray checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar.
As soon as I do the hotkey, it unchecks it. So I'm going to hit spacebar again to check it.
Checked.
Okay? And you want to tab through here. You want to prompt, well, you may not want to prompt to confirm when exiting JAWS. Remember, when you want to turn off JAWS, insert F4. Some kids want to hear the prompt, some kids don't. That's totally up to the child. Automatic notifications of updates, yes, get those updates because they keep up with your computer. You need to keep your JAWS updated to your internet especially. It will always work pretty well, even in Office and on your desktop, but the real difference is when you go to your browser. Always have checked run JAWS from system tray. And then tab again, show virtual viewer on the screen. Let me go ahead and do that.
Show virtual viewer on screen, checkbox checked.
Okay, the next big one is this one, Alt-L.
Use keyboard layout, combo box, laptop, 2 of 3. To check.
Select laptop, even if you have a desktop. I mentioned the biggest feature is when you choose laptop, your caps lock key becomes your insert key, which makes it so easy to do commands. You haven't lost any of your desktop commands. You can keep using them, and you can use all the power of that numpad if you have it, okay? So that's the first big one. Alt-O to say okay on that, and escape out of that one, or excuse me, Alt-O and hit enter, okay? That's one. Now the next big one, so the context menu is massive, so let me just do insert J and just show you a couple options off of that. Now, if your insert J doesn't work because it's already conflicting with my video recorder, I'm going to do Windows 3. If you're asking me why am I doing Windows 3, I have JAWS pinned to my taskbar, which I also highly suggest. If you're not sure how to do that, you hit your Windows key. Type in
JAWS W, JAWS 2019, app, press
hit your
applications, bin, context menu, list box, expand.
Down arrow to pin to taskbar.
Context, open file, unpin from taskbar.
Well, I don't want to unpin it, I want to pin it, okay? Pin that because then you always have a fast way to access your JAWS when he's starting to act really ornery and you just need to turn him off to clear the RAM and then turn him back on, okay? I'm going to hit escape and get out.
Escape, search box at escape.
So I have pinned my JAWS to my
desktop
taskbar.
folder.
So when I did insert J, I'm going to try it one more time, see if it opens.
JAWS context menu, options sub-menu, escape, leaving menu, folder view list.
Okay, let's say it did not, and it did not that first time I did it. There's always another way to do it. I could Windows M
Windows
to
M.
my desktop and hit J
selected.
for JAWS. Now watch what happens when I hit enter on it.
Enter. JAWS context menu, option sub-menu, to navigate.
That's one way. I'm going to hit
escape, leaving escape.
Okay, another way is Windows 3 because my JAWS is pinned on the third slot on my taskbar. If you're not sure how to get there, Windows T to your taskbar.
Windows T, taskbar word button to move through
Right
items,
arrow,
Google Chrome button.
Okay, so Word was 1, Chrome is 2.
JAWS 2019
JAWS
button.
is 3. So that's how you learn where your icons are at. I'm going to hit escape.
Escape.
Now I'm going to do Windows 3 and open my context menu that way.
Windows 3, JAWS context menu, option sub.
So many different ways. So right now, briefly, and we'll hit this more with each lesson, you have utilities.
Utility language sub-menu, help sub-menu, H.
Okay.
About,
if you don't know what version your JAWS is, about there. Let's say it just doesn't want to turn off, insert J,
exit,
and there's exit, okay? Lots of options. I'm going to hit escape.
Escape, leaving menus, taskbar word.
Okay, so context menu, big, big, huge, huge. Next big one is insert 6 to your settings. I'm using my caps lock because I know my caps lock is insert. I want to tell you a quick thing off the laptop. If you hit your caps lock and you want to turn it on, so I'm just going to press it once, nothing happens. Now I'm going to hit it twice really quickly and listen.
Caps lock on.
Okay, now the caps lock is on. So when you're in insert mode, you need to hit your caps lock very quickly twice to turn it on or off. I'm going to hit it twice again because I need it off.
Caps lock off.
Okay, now I'm going to use it with the insert key. It needs to be off, and I'm going to do caps lock, which is now your insert. I'm going to do insert number 6.
Explorer JAWS settings center dialog. Search box edit. Type in text.
Okay.
Control+E.
I want to set this as my default of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to Control-Shift-D to change from Explorer to my default.
JAWS settings center default all applications.
Okay. So the first one is, I'm going to go down to User.
Preview. User closed. 1 of 25. To move through or expand items, use the arrow keys.
You can do this many, many different ways. You can right arrow.
User open.
And
1.
go
Progress bar
down
updates announcement.
to all the different ones. I'm an F6 girl. F6 jumps window panes. I've shown you this in Word and PowerPoint. So I'm going to hit F6.
User page. Progress bar updates announcement combo box. 5-second intervals. 3 of 7.
The big one is your typing echo.
Typing echo characters and words radio button.
Okay, and I showed you this using insert 2. So if you've already have selected, maybe you just want characters, or maybe you just want words. But then there's an assignment that comes up where you want characters and words. You can be in any program and do insert 2 and go to characters and words. Anytime you change anything, you must Alt-A to apply it. But let me show you the big one. I'm going to hit F6 back.
Preview. Progress bar updates announcement. 5-second.
Speech verbosity. So hit S.
S. Screen echo highlighted.
Done.
S. Show virtual viewer on screen
Keep
checked.
going.
S. 0. Speech verbosity closed. 5 of 25.
That's a big one. So it's closed. I'm going to
Speech
right
verbosity
arrow,
open.
go
1.
down.
Verbosity level intermediate. 1 of 3.
Okay,
Speech verbosity.
intermediate. So first of all, with beginner highest, you're going to get a lot of feedback. Let's get over there and go through this.
Speech verbosity page. Verbosity level intermediate radio button check.
Okay. Now, most often the comments are made as the kids are saying, "Oh my gosh, he tells me basically everything where you just were, where you are, and where you're going." Way more information than any intermediate kid or more advanced kid needs. So beginner, that's great. They need to hear all that, where they just came from and where they're going now. So even at beginner mode, let's say it's kind of like beginner, but they're not ready for intermediate, I'm going to tab to one of the most important options right here. I'm going to keep tabbing.
Configure verbosity levels configure verbosity levels advanced button to activate. Press enable speech history checkbox.
Okay, enable speech history. And I'm going to hit my space bar and uncheck that. And JAWS will stop telling me everything about where I just came from. So now I'm going to hit my space bar
not checked.
and uncheck it. Anytime you change anything, you're going to do Alt-A to apply it.
Alt-A.
Okay. Now I'm going to hit F6 back. I want to quickly show you the Braille options in here also. I'm going to keep showing you a lot more, but I don't want to give you overload on each lesson. So I'm going to hit F6.
Preview. Verbosity level intermediate. 1 of 3.
Okay, let's hit B for Braille.
B. 0. Braille closed. 10 of 25.
Right arrow
Braille
open.
open. 6.
And
1.
down
General
arrow.
closed. 1 of 6. Braille.
Okay, so I'm going to F6 and go over there.
General page. Translation language combo box. English United States.
Okay. Now, there's a couple different options here. When this child is working with sighted teachers, you're going to see 2 boxes. Active cursor follows Braille display. Braille cursor follows active cursor. If both of those are selected, then as the child is moving through with the Braille display, the cursor will move along in the document. If only one is followed, well, the kid's going to be moving on. Cursor doesn't move in the Word document, and then the sighted teacher or whomever is lost. So I highly suggest doing both of those. I'll pop down there with Alt-C.
C. Active cursor follows Braille display checkbox not checked. The check press space checked.
Because anytime you do the hotkey, you immediately get rid of that. My output is UEB grade 2. That's Alt-O. You're going to also notice as you tab through that Show Current Word in Computer Braille is automatically selected. You literally have to tab past that. I'll be there in just a second. But the first thing I want to show you is auto detect braille displays using Bluetooth. And this is going to be setting up for a huge Braille lesson coming up, how you set up your braille displays, how you get them connected and going. So I'm going to go ahead and Alt D.
D. Auto detect braille display using Bluetooth.
Most of the time you actually don't have to select that, but why even have an issue? Most braille displays I use, I have not had a big issue with that, but I also have a really pretty powerful computer that helps overcome a lot of issues. Okay, so now we've got that. We're going to go, and oh yeah, one more. Display text in 8-dot braille. It's really nice having dot 7 and 8 because then they don't really intermix with your dots 3 and 6. So I highly suggest doing 8-dot braille also. Now let's do Alt-O to output.
Oh, translation output combo box. Unified English Braille grade 2, 5 of 5. To change this.
That's what I want. You have other options here. I want to tab.
Translation input combo box. Unified
Okay.
English.
Now, if your box is kind of muted color, show current word in computer braille.
Translation suppress capital
See?
signs.
And it actually pops right over top of it. I'm going to tell you.
Translation input.
You're going to actually keep input on computer braille, and I'm going to show you, and visually you're going to pick this up very quickly.
Computer braille 1 of 2.
And you immediately notice the show current word in computer braille it actually becomes an option. So now I'm going to tab so you can hear.
Translation show current word in computer braille checkbox.
That is the only way to uncheck that box, is your input has to be computer braille. You tab to that, space bar, uncheck it, then shift tab back.
Translation input combo box. Computer
and hit U until you get to UEB grade 2.
U. Unified English Braille grade 2,
Okay?
2 of 2.
That's how you overcome that little issue in this dialog box, and then Alt-A to apply it.
Alt-A.
And you're done, and hit Escape. Okay.
Escape.
So those are a few little items, and we will keep expanding on those as all of you get more advanced.